Okay, on the lathe we have a piece of tiger wood, and it's 1.75 inches that way, and it's about 12.5 up and down. I'm going to do a platter with an ogee in the bottom, in the base, and an awful lot of people freak out when they hear the word ogee because I think it's very difficult. I like Jimmy Clues's way of doing it because it's simple, right? Okay, so at the top of this platter I want a rim, so I'm going to mark a rim just round about there, right? So that's, the rim is going to be thinner. The rim should come down to about there, but I don't want a big thick rim, but I do want some wood to play with up there. So the rim should come down to about there, and then I'm going to mark here, right? I'll move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Right. I'll be holding this with a recess. And as you can see, there is a slight section out of this. But I'm not too worried about it at the moment because as I'm turning, I'll be taking that out. And I want to keep as much width to this piece as I can. I'll be turning this with a recess. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark for the recess. Right. Now, as normal, pointing down, touch with this side, aim with that side. Do not let that side touch. Right, there's my recess marked. Right, I'll hide it with a pencil so you can see it. Okay. Now what I want to do is basically thirds, right? So about there is a third. Let's say 1, 2, 3. So about there, because I want a foot on it. Right. Right. Now that I have my 2 marks, right, I'm going to cut the foot in, right? Now what I want to do is speed the light up a bit. I'm at 1100, right? I just want a small foot, and as I have this in my hand, I'll start the recess. Slightly high for that tool, so stop it, drop it down a tiny little bit, finish that recess. That's better. Right, get the right, this is one of those times where I've lost a word. I can't remember how to say it. This, right, that I've modified to be the right size. Right, I'm too low for it, so yeah. And I'm actually here on my own today, so I can't do what I normally do, which is stop the video, run inside, ask somebody how to say something, and then come back and say it. I can't do it this time, but it's one of those, right, that I have modified to match my jaws, and just put the recess in. I've actually modified this into a negative rate striker, and I still can't remember how to say that word. Right, now what I want to do is clean here off. Right, so I'll grab my bowl gouge. Right, And basically I'll just pull it out. Right, nearly, one more. Now what I've done there, just here, is I've taken a slight cut off that so that it's not square. There's a slight curve in it. It'll be a different curve to the ogee, but there's a slight curve there. Okay? And it's probably a mil and a half thick, that foot is. Now what I want to do is I want to divide what's left here into thirds, roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. Right, so I got one, 2, 3, right, and I want to mark the inner third. Right, now what I'm going to do is cut a cove from that line to the line I put up here. Right, and then we'll go on with doing the ogee now. Okay. Right. And remember, when you're cutting this, you're not looking for a straight line. You do not want a straight line there, you want a cove. Right. Let's move that around there, give myself a better angle in it. That is close enough. Okay. Now, an ogee, very simply, is 50-50. It's like an S. Right? So what I want to do is mark between there and there, 50-50, roundabout. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just roundabout there-ish. Okay. Now what I want to do is put another curve going the opposite way from that line to there. Right? And that will give me the ogee shape. I'll move the camera again so you can actually see the ogee forming. Okay, now as you can see here, I haven't come totally up to that line. I can, but I want to leave myself some room to play up there just in case I don't get this right. I want to leave myself some room up there so I can change the curve, right? So, right. I'm a little high there. I am a little high there for a draw cut. That's better. Still a little high. That's the thing with a draw cut and a push cut. I normally use a push cut and a draw cut. I keep forgetting that how low you have to actually drop that tool rest to get it. Now I need to move that tool rest again to around there because I'm losing it. There we go. Right. Now that I've got that bottom curve, I can refine the top one. To get the curve better. Now you see the way I've got a bump just there? That's going to make the ogee not smooth. So I'll go back to a push cut. Take the bump out. Nearly. Yep, that'll do it. Now you see why I left this gap here, so we can blend it in. Bring the cove back again. Slightly off just in there. Right, and there you have a rough ogee. Right, I'm going to use a negative rake scraper to take those tool marks away. There's a slight bump just there that's wrecking the curve. I'll use a negative brake to get rid of it. And that should be sandable. And there we have a rough ogee shape. Right, the curve coming out and the curve going back. Roughly 50-50 from that bump. Okay, right. Right, I'm going to sand that and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, and we're back. Just finishing buffing the piece. The finish I used was sanded at the 400, then cleaned it using methylated spirits, or for those in the States, denatured alcohol. Then I cleaned it, used sanding sealer, then Yorkshire grit, and Hampshire Sheen high gloss. And this is a skew. My daughter came home and I asked her how to say it. And there's the back. This is pretty. Right, now we'll flip it around and do the other side. And I'll move the camera again. No, I won't actually. No, I'll leave the camera where it is, because then you can see me hollowing it. Right, so back in a sec when I get to flip it around. Right. I was asking one of the other videos about the dog. This is Daisy. I think you can see her. In a minute. No, you can't. Come here. Wait this. Right. Come up here to me. Come up here. Come up. Come up here. People wants to meet you. This is Daisy. She's she's the family pet. And she doesn't like the sound of the lathe, so she doesn't come in when the lathe is on. Sure you know. Go on, get. I know, yeah. I know. Go on, get. I'm turning it on. I'm turning it. I am. I'm going to turn it on. I will. Right, so that's Daisy. That somebody was asking about her. So, okay. Now we get back to this. Now, first thing I want to do is face hair off. So we'll just. Now this side wasn't completely straight, so I knew I'd have to face it off. Tiny bit. Now, this is just something I do when I'm doing these, just to give myself a guide. That is around about where I want the bowl. Right, I want to hollow out that. Now, as with other hollowing, you have to be careful that you don't go through, basically. Okay. What to remember is you're actually doing quite shallow hollowing. You know, I have turned one of these into a funnel before. what I'm trying to avoid doing on this is getting a flat bottom in it. I want a curved bottom. So the wall thickness matching comes second. It's an aesthetics thing that I prefer. An awful lot of people will just follow the wall, whereas I want to see the ogee from the side, but I want to see a smooth curve from the inside. I'm just going to sharpen this gouge. Now, before I go too far, I want to I don't want this perfectly flat, this rim. Right? I want to have a very, very slight, and I mean very slight, tilt in on it. What I'm doing is starting to cut out here really thin and slowly going thicker as I'm going in. One more. Lost the cut there for a second. Work it out with sanding. I need to put my mark back. Just around about where I want it hollow to. About there. Right, and we go back to hollowing it. I'm trying to start to flatten out at the bottom there. I don't want, so I will leave it. I will leave the rim that size because I do not want a flat bottom on this. I want a curve. Right. We got a heavy duty negative ray scraper. Let's take the tool marks out. That needs a bore. Now when I get out here to the edge, I want to drag it round so that I round this part. Right, just drag it out to that line. So that there's no sharp transition. Right, and now what I'm going to do on the edges here is when I'm sanding it, I'll round them over with sandpaper. Right, still a tool mark goes there. Yep, now that's sandable, I'd say. Have a look. Yes, that's sandable. That is sandable, definitely. Right, now I just might take one more cut just there. I don't like that. I'm going to put a sharp edge on this because I don't like that curve. Now I shouldn't have any tool marks there now. Of that cut. And I do not. Slight bit of tear out there, but that'll sand. Yeah, I think normally I round over that, but I think on this one, I think it needs that edge. Don't know what it is. Right, so I'll sand this one, this side, and then come back to you. Okay, so there it is. 12-inch tiger wood platter. It's not very often I do platters because, to be straight and honest, I don't actually like them. But every now and again you get a piece of wood and it kind of dictates what it's going to be. And this one, with the size and the thickness and the shape of the blank, was always going to be a platter. Right, I'll put up the lighting in here isn't great for photographs, so I'll put up a couple of stills of this at the end for you to have a look at. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you in the next one.